Go.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Dominic with PowerSlap News. Joining me, and I hope I don't say this wrong, is Amir Nurrideen. Did I get it right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Awesome. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Good, man. I'm doing fucking awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, what were your thoughts on PowerSlap, the first event, the live Rumble experience?
It was pretty fucking crazy. I think I should have been there. Like, I feel like a couple of guys should have been there from like the qualifiers and stuff. But it was honestly a pretty decent show. A couple of upsets that I didn't think were gonna happen, you know. But all in all, I think it was a pretty decent show by Dana. He did a
I,
pretty fucking good job on the first one.
I agree. I think it went off pretty damn awesome. I think there were a little bit of hiccups when in terms of like the refereeing not being consistent with
Exactly.
the counts and like the walking, but that it's
Mhm.
around, it's you look at UFC in the beginning, the refs weren't that great either.
Yeah.
We got to kind of clean that up. Um
Mm-hmm.
Now the big debate seems to be because when you go look at now the first main event and everything, shorter fighters tend to have a winning percent higher. Do you feel a shorter fighter is an advantage when it comes to power slap?
I'd say it gives them about this much advantage because they can just get closer to the ground. If these bigger guys, man, if they would go all the way to the ground on their windup and come from the floor to the face, they'd have so much more power. If that makes sense, you see what I'm getting at?
So you think
If you
everyone should
go
be
ahead,
doing everyone should be doing the kind of like knees bent kind of power up
yeah.
explosion.
If you squat down and come back up, how much more power do you think that generates? You know, and just watching some of the bigger guys, they just use their shoulders, like they're just all from the top portion of their body. If they use their whole body, I bet you on the power cube they're gonna slap 70,000 up, like 70,000 points on that thing instead of 50, 55.
Hmm. But being the taller fighter, do you think they risk a clubbing doing that, and that's why they have to
Oh
go with
yeah,
the accuracy more?
that would make some sense. Yeah, and their hands are big. They got big hands. So
No, I was we were out there. You guys are people were initially saying that you guys aren't athletes, that you guys are just these people that Dana picked up off the street to slap each other. We were there. We saw a lot of you guys in person. You guys are athletes. You
yeah,
guys are built. Like you guys are there to compete.
yeah. I mean, a couple of us, like a couple of us, I'm sure that Dana just fucking found him off the street or whatever. But there's all kinds of tests that we have to do to even be considered for it. You know, like we talk to these guys for weeks and months just so they get to know us before they even consider us for the sport. So there's all kind. I don't know why people think that we just like get a phone call and hop on a plane. Like there's all kinds of shit that we have to do to fucking get considered for it.
So I know we did see you on Road to the Title briefly. I want to talk to you a little bit of the training. How long did you get to train at the institute there? Did you get a lot of time to train? And what are you
Um,
currently doing now to continue to train?
Um, so I'll answer the first part of the question first. So I was kind of a last minute fill in. So I was only in Vegas for 5, 6 days at the most. And then I was in the house, the Power Slap house overnight and then for the day of the fights. So I wasn't able to train at all. But to answer the second part of your question, I got mats in a bag right there. So as soon as I get home from work, what do you think I'm doing?
Just working on that slap, but no gym. You're not on like a team out there where you're at locally. That someplace that you're
Um,
hitting up all the time.
uh, yeah, and then there's like an actual gym with all kinds of weights and stuff here at my apartment complex. So I'll be going there and hitting that thing. I'm really just taking this on by myself this time.
That I was
You know
I
what
was
I mean?
gonna say. It sounds like you're really doing this kind of like solo. You're not. They're not really having like a team behind you there. It's really just kind of you.
Yeah, it's just me, myself, and I right now. And then I got like my little brother and my girlfriend that's behind me for everything that I do. But as far as like guys helping me out and shit, it's really just me. Nobody fucking believes in me. You know?
Well, Dana obviously gave you that little bit of a moment to shine there, right? He tapped you. I'm sure there were a few people that were kind of waiting in the roster, and you must have been picked out of those. I heard there were a few people that were at the hotel doing the kind of like seclusion thing. Were you a part of that, doing the seclusion, no phone, no
Yeah.
contact?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the no phone, no contact thing, but I was in a hotel. I was locked down for the 4 days that I was there at first. I was getting all my medicals, my MRIs, my everything. And then I want to say on my way to the house, that's when they took my phone and that sort of thing.
So I
So
want to.
I wasn't really cut off like everyone else was.
Okay, so it was, but you were still there at the hotel. It was just maybe a little bit different for like the batch that you were in.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk more about the medical because you brought it up there, doing the MRI, the scan, all that type of stuff. As somebody who participated in the sport and has unfortunately suffered a knockout, what was it like, the medical? What was that like after? Did you feel like you were in good hands? Because a lot of these haters say that you guys are always taking all this damage and brain damage immediately. What was it like for somebody who's experienced it?
Honestly, I didn't have to worry about a fucking thing. Like every medical test that you could possibly think of, it was like I was in such good hands, man. Dana White, like the first thing that Dana wants to make sure everyone is safe and everyone is taken care of. So as soon as like it was probably not even 10 minutes after I was in the ambulance headed out to the hospital. Like they take super good care of us, and the first thing that they want to make sure of is that everyone's safe and healthy.
So that I've heard that from the other fighters when I was talking to Vern, other people who've been through the whole knockout ambulance hospital. Everyone has said the same thing. They feel like they've been in good hands. They felt like they've been taken care of the whole way through. No one's had any ill will. So I think that's one of the ones these haters got to let go, that you guys are in good hands. The sport is regulated. On that note, have you participated in slap outside of PowerSlap? Have we seen you anywhere else? This is your first time slapping. I couldn't find
This is my
anything.
first time slapping.
First
First
time
time
slap.
slapping.
Is that because now it's regulated? Did it not interest you before when it was kind of unregulated and kind of
Oh, I'll
backyard?
tell you. So when PowerSlap first started out, I got the phone call to be like in the qualifiers, but I was like 2 towns away for work or something, so I wasn't able to make it. And then they just kept hitting me up, and then that's how I met Slap Jesus. And then he was just telling me like, dude, you got to get on the show, you got to get on. Because at first I thought he was just bullshitting about it. I thought PowerSlap was like just some bullshit. And then all of a sudden he starts telling me, he's like, dude, I really need you to like take this serious and like start telling me more about it. And I was like, dude, fuck it. So I hopped on the plane the next day, and yeah, the rest is history. Found out it was all fucking the real deal.
That's super awesome. We met Slap Jesus in Vegas. He was nice enough to give us an interview. We've been talking a little bit on Instagram. We're gonna do another one. I know it's public now that unfortunately his time with PowerSlap has come to an end. That's not the case with you, correct? You're still on contract, or where are you at with the organization currently?
So they updated their roster, and my picture, I'm on the roster or whatever. I haven't gotten that termination letter, and um, I was talking to Frank, and they said that they're gonna look at me for future events. So I'm pretty sure that I locked my spot in with them.
But no word on like season two, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, nothing like that.
Nothing for sure, but um, I'm a thinking man. You know what I'm saying? I think of the bigger picture a lot of the time. So I feel like it would be in Dana's best interest to have me back just because of how the road to the title episode with me went. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure you've watched that.
Oh, for sure, right? That was a big moment on the fight. I think Dana was referring to that strike as like one of the
Greatest slap of
biggest.
all time.
Yeah, that's what he said. Greatest slap of all time, right? And so I
Yeah.
think a lot of people saw you in that moment. I think it's worth it to bring you back, not only for that, but because they clearly saw something in you to bring you into the house as the fill-in. Why not
They
give
cut out a
you.
lot of stuff, like a bunch of like the film and stuff, like from me being in the house. You know, I was in there talking my shit as soon as I walked up in there, and then they cut most of that out.
Really? So we didn't get to
Yeah.
see true personality shine through there. They just kind of cut
Mhm.
through real quick.
Yeah, just because the show was kind of already fucked up anyway, because Devin was kicked or whatever from steroids or whatever the fuck he had going on. So, you know, they, I mean, they had to make some last minute changes. Fucking the whole entire series of Power Slap. I think. So they just chopped it and made the episodes. People walk in and then it's the fights, and that's all they can do about it. I think. I feel like it wasn't really supposed to be like that. To be honest with you.
So you think it's going to be way different once it's in Dubai and it's like Slap Island now? You think the
Oh
whole
yeah.
like
I think
environment's going to be different?
I think the whole show is going to be different. The format of the show is going to be different. They're going to lay it out different. Everything's going to be different about it this time.
What are your thoughts about the new talent coming in? I know you said you looked at the updated roster. Anybody on there interest you? Who's the person that you're like, oh yeah, I have his number. He's the one I
Who the
want.
fuck are these guys? Some of these guys look like fucking. They just got out of the circus.
I was looking through. I was trying to hit some of them up. I'm hoping to talk to them and like show everybody who they are a little bit more. Dana's saying he's going to see a lot more Russian, Polish, South African. I believe he said that's the talent that's going to be coming up in that area.
Man, but don't they already have a league that's over there? Slap Fighting Championship League.
They do. It's where it started, right? So I think the goal is to kind of like tap into that all audience, the Russian, East European, get those guys really hyped up around Slap now, Dubai, the Saudi.
Yeah, fuck. That'll be interesting to see, huh?
I think I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard anything, but I'm picturing them throwing big money at this and converting that whole, fight island into a slap island. And this is going to be like you said, it's going to be a way different season 2.
Yeah. Like it's not even going to be the same as the first go round. Not even going to be the same.
But it would be nice to see some familiar faces, like especially like you, someone we only got a little tease of.
There might be fucking 6 or 7 of us returning, maybe. That I know for sure. I've been I'm friends with a bunch of the guys. I'm obviously tight with all of them. We have our group chats and shit. There's only 8 or 9 of us for sure that we've seen in the first one that are staying.
Really? So the majority of people you're saying got letters?
That I know for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Because I have unfortunately heard as well that quite a few people have received that, the scary letter.
Like good strikers, people that you would think, how the fuck did you get let go?
Well, Slap Jesus is a big name, right? Dana White really was pumping Slap Jesus clips. It was pretty interesting there.
Yeah, pretty fucking interesting. He sent me the letter. As soon as he found out, he called me, and me and him were talking about it. I almost started crying. I was like, dude, how the fuck are they gonna do that for real? Because he literally introduced me to the sport, got me into it, got me onto the show.
Yeah. No, you're just saying, right? He's the one that called and really pushed you to do it. And now, unfortunately, it sounds like hopefully it's not for good. Hopefully it's just a season and they can work something out and like Slap Jesus resurrects.
I'm gonna get Dana to bring his ass back. It ain't going down like that. This is not the last we've seen of Slap Jesus.
Well, I think it would be fitting, right? The resurrection. You have a perfect event title right there.
I like that.
So I've been asking a lot of fighters this as well. The hate on Twitter that we've obviously seen, the Instagram, the people coming out. Do you think it is geared towards the sport, or do you think it's more geared towards Dana because Dana's doing it?
I like that you said that. I haven't thought about it like that. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. I really haven't thought about it like that.
Well, Dana brought it up at a conference. He said people like to hate me. They weren't mad at Slap when other people were doing it. And they do. The trolls love to give it to Dana, right? These guys really like to. But now we're seeing some UFC fighters, right? Like Bryce Mitchell and some other ones come out and talk kind of negative about the sport.
Fuck, dude. I mean, I really don't know how to defend it, honestly, because there's people that want to slap each other, and then there's people that want to box each other. And boxers they could take anywhere from 300 to 500 punches to the head in one fight. We take 3 slaps. A couple of them might not even be good ones. They could be fucking, they could miss or they could club or a flinch could happen or anything. And they, 3 slaps compared to, I don't know, man. To me, in my brain, that's just like a no-brainer. No pun intended.
Well, we were talking to people, and the justification we were saying is you see these other cats and they are on a skateboard jumping over 14 helicopters, but that's okay as long as they got a Red Bull helmet on, you know, like that's
Yeah.
you mess up that, it's not a concussion, it's a death, right? We see this whole movie of this guy climbing mountains with no ropes and everyone's like, that's awesome. But you
Yeah.
don't,
Oh, he's dead. Yeah.
yeah, you make some mistake, it's not a concussion, it's death, right? Like,
And I mean, we at least we have guys that catch us when we fall.
I've heard that mat is really soft too. I heard it's softer than like a wrestling mat, softer than a UFC mat. It's like a big pillow.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice. Like you
So
walk up on it, and it's kind of like a trampoline. You can bounce on it just a little bit. Pretty fucking nice.
so we've seen some things change in the sport so far. We've seen them change the stepping rule. We've seen them change the chalk. We've seen them change different like
Say that they changed it. I wouldn't
mm,
say that they've changed it, but they've been watching it a little bit more, and different stuff happens. Like in my match against Vern, he so he moved his feet before he slept, not after. So that's when they started fucking adjusting the rule after that. New stuff is just gonna keep happening, you know. Things are gonna keep popping up, and the rules are just gonna keep adjusting. It's not that they're changing; they're just looking for different things.
well, that's
Now,
what I wanted to ask you. What would be a change that you would make? You got the power, you got the full commission behind you. What's something that you would want to see change? Is it the bending of the knees? Do we get rid of that and you got to keep your hand above the
look,
barrel?
you're not even gonna. This is gonna blow your fucking mind. Why is the ref standing on the opposite side of where the guy is getting slapped?
Hmm.
So he can't see a club. He can't
Right.
fucking, you know what I'm saying? He can't see where the dude lands. The only thing he's looking for is the chalk on his fucking face.
Hmm.
And guys like me, I don't use chalk. So I could club someone, knock them the fuck out, and they'll have to look at the camera to see it.
Hmm. You're right, because we were there. There is only one ref on the side, and then there's two behind and two behind. There's not
Like
somebody. There should be one on each side of the barrel.
Wayland's match with Slap Jesus, for instance. If the ref was standing on the other fucking side, he would be able to see that Wayland flinched every fucking time.
It makes sense. And then you also
Slap
see
Jesus is that.
there's also a lot of what's the people switch hands, right? You can't stay on one side. If all of a
Exactly.
sudden I switch to my
So
left,
if that happens, then there needs to be timeout. Ref needs to switch sides, make sure he's all set, ready to go. Go ahead and slap.
hmm, interest. That's a good point. I've you know what's funny? I talked to everybody. Everybody's got something new. I've heard people say coin toss. Let's settle the coin toss. Some referees are catching it and doing the flip on the hand. Some referees
Yeah,
are
that's
letting it hit the ground. Let's pick one, stick to it, everybody.
yeah,
Right?
that
So
makes sense.
so there are little things that I'm hearing now. This is the first I've heard like get rid of the chalk entirely, right? I've heard like no other thing is striking
Well,
with the chalk. It gets in your eyes.
if we get rid of the chalk entirely, then we have to really focus on the cameras.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to fucking do that. So you gotta have the chalk.
I see, I see. So
And
the chalk's sticking
the chalk
around.
prevents cuts too.
Hmm.
And so you know, like friction, if my palm grazes and catches, that's when you're gonna get a cut. But that chalk like helps slide, you know?
Makes sense. Makes sense. But not a glove, no glove and slap, you don't think ever?
Yeah.
No.
Fuck no.
Okay. Okay. Because I've seen the argument as well that this was the first main event. This was the first time we seen like the pros go at it. And it was a lot of round one knockouts, right? Are we going to just
Right.
continue to see round one knockouts, or is this going to get a little bit more back and forth competitive? Like the main event was 5 rounds. We didn't get past two.
Right. To be fair though, I mean, fuck. Since I've been gone, the only thing I've been doing is working out. So I don't know if that says anything.
So you think the quality of people competing only goes up from here? People's chins are going to get better. Neck strength is going to get better. It's not going to be as
I
quick.
don't know. I don't know about all the new cats coming in because I've seen a few of them and they look like fucking goldfish out of the circus bowl. I swear to God. Um, but some of the guys like guys that I was on the show with, they've only been working their necks and working their slap like I have. So we know exactly what to do, and these guys really don't. You dig? So
are you out there headbanging like AJ? Is that how you're training the neck?
sometimes you did. Man, I love AJ so much. That's my fucking dog. Thanks for bringing him up, man. I'm gonna text him right after this.
We just chatted with him yesterday. Tell him we said hello. He was super awesome. He gave us a minute of his time, right? He's really loving that champ status. So if you hit him up, let him know we said hi again.
He deserves it.
Yeah. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know we were talking before this. You just got off work. Thanks for like making that happen for us.
Not a problem at all.
Is there
Not a
anything
problem.
you want to say before we let you go? Anything that to the fans, anything like that you want to shout out? Any merch sponsors, anything coming up? I know you mentioned no team. Are you looking for a team?
I could be really just looking for a family more than anything. Every gym that I've been to has been nothing but drama and bullshit, and I really just want a place that accepts me, um, accepts like what I do and how hard I work because I show up and I outwork everyone no matter what. So besides that, fucking just watch me on my first slap fight, man. I'm gonna do something crazy that you haven't seen before, and I'm bringing fucking Slap Jesus home. I promise.
Well, we're gonna hold you to that last one. I just want to say we were out there. This was the first time really meeting and being a part of the slap community. If you're looking for a family, I don't think there's any better one than the one that's going to be built around slab. Everybody was super close. Everyone was super tight. We were two guys out of Canada and we felt really welcomed out there. It was really awesome. I hope you stick around. I hope we continue to see you. You haven't got the letter yet. That's good news for all the fans out there. Where can people find you if they want to find you to see more? Where can they see you?
They can see me Instagram on at the Bearded Mullet, and then my Facebook handle is Amir Nurrideen, my first and last, and then yeah, everything else is there. Just click and go.
Awesome. We're gonna let you go. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Have a great
Thanks
evening,
for
man.
having me, man. Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.